VP of Valorant, Waylon Roselle, COO of Riot Esports, and Leo Faria, Head of Valorant Esports. We will begin with some pre-submitted questions, with the first being about the Team Summit. I understand the past 2 days you met with the 30 owners that are participating in the international leagues. Can you share how the last 2 days of conversation went?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been planning this partnership in these new leagues for a few years now, and it was really awesome to kick it off with this opportunity to meet all the 30 teams. I think a big theme of the summit was collaboration, how to work with them, how to align our incentives to grow the sport, build big impactful moments for fans and for Valorant players, how to build fandom, how to grow our business. And it was really awesome. I think, the excitement was really palpable. We talked about our vision for the future, our plans for the season. Of course, everything we discussed was confidential, as we have plans for these all of these news and things we're going to do in the future to be rolled out and announced in the future. But it was really awesome. I think we were all super excited. We ended the summit with a tour of the venue with all the team owners that came here to get to know the venue and lock in and meet the teams. So yeah, I think it was really awesome, a great start to the partnership, and we can get ready to start everything with lock in on Monday.
Thank you. Our next question is from Adarsh Kumar from Sportskeeda in India. It's to John Needham. What was the thought behind having a 32 single elimination bracket here at lock-in, considering that 16 of those teams will be eliminated after their opening match?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing was, one, it's super exciting to have 32 teams here. It's the biggest tournament we've done, which is amazing. And we just don't have a lot of time to do a double elim format. So given the time that we had and the constraints we had in the schedule, we had to do single elim.
Thank you. Our next question is going to be to Leo Faria. It's also from Adarsh from India. Was there any specific reason for selecting Brazil as the location of VCT lock-in?
Yeah. So we are so excited to be here. I think for a number of reasons, including COVID. We hosted all of our global events in 2021 and 2022 in the EMEA region. We went to Berlin a couple of times, to Iceland. We brought champions to Istanbul. It was incredible, but we came into the season in 2023 with this huge desire to bring our events all over the world. We're bringing Masters to Tokyo, which we're also super excited about, but Brazil felt like the perfect choice for lock-in. The Valorant community here is incredible. The player base is amazing. It's growing. The community, they have a really strong history with FPS. They are the reigning champions of Valorant with Loud last year. So we're just super excited to be here.
It's absolutely not because Leo is from Brazil.
Although he did say he felt very comfortable doing it.
We're going to go back to John for this next one. It's from Ryan Central. At Worlds last year, you had an interview with Travis Gafford about League's audience being more interested in watching esports to improve at the game. You also said that you saw Valorant as more of an entertainment product. Do you think that's likely to shift over time from a viewer and broadcaster perspective, especially with tools like a demo viewer being worked on in Val's future?
Yeah, I don't know. We're constantly looking at feedback on our shows and our events, and we want to deliver what our fans ask for. I think given the pros that play in the Valorant leagues, just generally being more charismatic and, having bigger personalities, that we have a lot more to work with from an entertainment perspective with them. But really, at the end of the day, our fans will tell us the kind of show that we should make, and we're going to make that show.
Thank you. We're going to go to Leo for this next one. Leo, this is from Declan from Deserto. We've seen multiple reports of Valorant League coming to China this year. Can you confirm that China will get a pro league, and if it might be a fit into and how it might fit into the rest of the circuit?
Yeah. So we are so excited about China. We just got the license for Valorant that we've been waiting for a few years now. It's one of the biggest gaming markets in the world. We know from League of Legends how amazing that community are, how dedicated they are, how much effort they put into competing and winning championships. So we're building a plan for competitions in China right now. We still don't know exactly how that will take shape, but of course we want to welcome China into the VCT. We have 2 Chinese teams playing at lock-in, of course, invited teams EDG and FBX, and we're building a plan for the rest of the season and then foreseeable future. But we'll definitely even though we have no plans to announce right now, we'll definitely make sure China has a big presence in the VCT.
Thank you. We'll now move to asking questions from the remote media. Please use the Zoom hand raise function if you would like to ask a question, and then we will call on you. Let's begin with Adi Aiden from VLR.gg.
Thank you so much. This question is from Anna. So earlier during VCT's, the 2023 VCT season's announcement during Champions, we were shown a trailer as well as a tidbit about an in-game competition. Of course, later through the year, we would note it as Premier. Now, it has been said that Premier would tie into the larger VCT ecosystem. What is the exact specifics on how the system, the in-game tournament system, would tie into the whole ecosystem towards challengers, ascensions, and ending up towards the international leagues? Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, when we designed Premier, we were definitely thinking about how it would give all of our players a chance to get a taste of what competitive play feels like at that level. We wanted to make sure that players had a real clear path to pro, and we worked really closely with the esports team to make sure that that connective tissue could exist. I think we're actually going to be announcing a lot of our plans around Premier over the next couple of weeks. So I don't want to go through the entire format today. That is coming very soon. But I would say I would expect that teams should be looking to Premier for a place.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. We'll go next to Juan Torres from Prensa Esports. Juan, if you can unmute your mic, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. My question is for John. I don't know, it's like the environment here in the LATAM esports community, but I've seen some doubts of the price of the tournament. If the team that wins lock-in gets an extra space
slot
in Masters, or the team that wins exactly gets an extra slot, but for the region where he belongs.
If I may.
Yeah, it's for the region. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
We'll go next to George from Esports.
Hi, everyone. Pleasure to speak to you all. I think I think I'll send this one over to Leo. I think he'd probably be the best for this question. Obviously, the existence of a China league, we kind of spoke about it before. But on the actual teams themselves, let's say they kind of come into fruition maybe next year or the year later, whatever happens. Will they qualify for the Pacific Ascension, or how will they kind of be integrated with the wider international circuit?
So, George, the honest answer, we don't know yet, but we think China is probably big enough from a player-based perspective to be their own league. I think we're going to see how the game performs in the market, how the initial competitions will go. But I think, again, just from a historical perspective, looking at the market and how competitive those teams are, I think they will probably, there's a good chance they will become the fourth IL in the VCT in the future.
Thank you. We'll go next to Alejandro from Level Up.
Hello, everyone. My question is for Leo. Based on what we have seen in Worlds, we know how hard it is to move teams from around the world into one single place. So how was the planning around VCT looking as to move nearly 30 teams into Sao Paulo?
Yeah. So the whole purpose of Lock-In is to celebrate the launch of VCT, right? We wanted to bring all 30 teams together, plus 2 from China, to bring the entire VALORANT community together, to celebrate the sport, to celebrate the teams, but also to introduce the teams to the world. Because as we all know, a lot of these teams are joining our sport now. For a lot of these players and these teams, this is the first time they're competing after roster mania and a lot of players moving around. A lot of these rosters are new and this is their first competition. So introducing the teams to the world was a big goal for Lock-In. We're not only having them here to compete, but we're capturing a bunch of content, producing features, meet the teams, producing content around players, around teams and their strategies. And I think the idea of having everyone here was just, we wanted to give everyone a fresh start. We wanted to give everyone a chance to compete and show themselves. And yeah, we think it's going to be this huge celebration, and we're just very excited to see it live on Monday.
Okay, thank you so much.
You. We'll go next to Cecilia from Esports Mag.
Hello, everyone. My question is for Waylon. So last year, League and Riot in general said that League esports aspires to become the future of sport in EMEA. How does Valorant fit into that aspiration of Riot?
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, we do believe that esports can reflect the future of where sports are going. And I think if you look back at the first 10 years of Riot esports in our existence, a lot of what we were doing is pulling tropes and rituals and traditions from sports and trying to fit it into video games. And I think a big thing that, especially John, as he's joined and formed a global esports team and sort of unified us and rallied us around the idea of how can we push beyond sport and really lean into what is special and unique about esports. I think Valorant, as a fresh game hitting really hard across all territories that it's launched in, has a strong global community, is one of those games that's poised to be able to stand the test of time. And you can see from the relaunch of the VCT and how we're really investing deeply into the 3 ILs that we're all in on investing into the game and the sport and the whole community. And so we do think that Valorant's going to be one of these games, along with League of Legends, that will have the runway to help redefine the concept of sport for people everywhere. And that's something that we're very passionate about on the team.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go next to Tim Kimberg from Spike Tap. Tim, if you can unmute your mic.
Oh, hey, sorry. Yeah, my question is for John. I basically just wanted to see, I've seen a lot of, I follow most of the Riot esports pretty heavily, and I've seen a lot of the video basically where you talk about your goal for TFT and your goal for League. I guess I wanted to see, since each esport has different approaches and fan interactions, and you watch Valorant, there's a lot more watch parties. You watch League, there's a lot more focus on the main broadcast and less on the watch parties. I guess I wanted to, and TFT is a little more different as well. I guess I wanted to see, with your goal for TFT kind of being officially as we want to have a lot more competitors and participants in the esport, what is your goal with Valorant? Is it we want to have a lot of participants? Is it more viewership based? Is it a combo of the two? Is it something else that we haven't really seen you focus on yet? So yeah, what is the exactly how you want fans and players to interact with Valorant and its goal at the end of the road as an esport?
Yeah, look, I think we always, our goal is always to inspire our players with just, top-notch competition and the best players in the world. And that really isn't specific to any sport that we do. For Valorant specifically, it's pretty simple. We want to be the #1 FPS esport on the planet. That's our goal. And we want to deliver a show that our fans are super proud of. And make them very proud of being part of the Valorant community.
Thank you. We'll go next to Nadine from .esports.
Hello, my question is for John. So we've already kind of had a lot of questions today about Valorant VCT being such a global league. So we've already had a lot of questions about the league in China, etc. So my question is a little bit specific here. So we've seen 2 orgs, Gen.G and T1, actually try Valorant in North America and then end up in VCT Pacific after franchising. And so my question for you is, how do you feel about the potential of this rivalry from League of Legends kind of maybe coming into play in VCT? And also, if you have thoughts about orgs kind of being based in multiple regions and how that works just not only in the future of just VCT, but in esports in general, as we're seeing it become more of a global kind of, these companies are becoming more established globally, not necessarily just based in one region.
Yeah, no, we love that. So first of all, of course, we love rivalry. We want to lean into those stories, and it's just great for sport to have 2 teams that want to play against each other and don't really like each other so much. So it's always good for sport. As far as fandom, you know, I think it's one of the things that's different about esports, and we very much support our teams that want to establish fans in different regions around the world, because I think as gamers, we play with friends from all around the world. I think our audience, when they look at these teams, it's not so localized as it is with traditional sports. They are fans of the players, they are fans of the teams, regardless of where those teams are from. So yeah, I just think fandom generally around esports is more international than fandom around traditional sports, and we want to support that.
And then just to build off of that, if you look at the international leagues, right, that we're in some ways putting that concept to the test.
Yes.
Where you have leagues that might not be played in your home country, but it really is representative of the broader territory. And we do believe that with great partner teams, with strong local on the ground broadcasts, with good partners doing co-streaming and really leaning into the concept of really high produced multi-language feeds, we can have a league that represents more than just one city or one region or one country. And so we do think that that is something that is unique about esports. We're very excited.
100%.
Yes.
I heard Sentinels is getting a big following in Brazil now with
And we'll take this as the last question from remote media. We'll go to Sean Garaz.
Oh, thank you. My question's for Anna, and I'm wondering, you guys have so many updates and things that you released into the game. Recently, the Stinger nerf came in, and I believe you guys are using that patch at this tournament. Can you speak to, I guess, the future key updates that you might see on the horizon, like the cadence of them, big agents coming into the game, new maps being removed, and how will that affect pro play? Like, will you guys be taking time off or forcing patches? And is that a question you guys are asking yourselves behind the scenes?
Hi, Sean. Good to hear from you. Yeah, so we are definitely looking at this constantly, especially with the cadence of the sport itself and the events themselves starting to ratchet up and become a little bit more formalized, and we're kind of getting into more of a rhythm. We work really, really closely on the game team with the esports team to figure out the right time to release content. And right now, those calendars are still not perfect, but the goal is through the course of this year to get them to a really, really healthy place. I think in terms of like, I'm definitely not going to spoil any new agents, maps, etc. But what I will say is, you know, when we launched the game, I think we launched what we felt was content light. I think we felt like we didn't have enough in the game to really support the kind of depth that we were looking for. But now I think at this point, we have a lot of content, and I think we probably have to slow the release of new content down quite like a bit in order to, you know, adapt to the needs of the players so that you can learn new things, get good at new things, and not have the game be so constantly changing. And then one extra plug, I'm really excited. We've just hired a bunch of players from the community. It's like nice to have the game out long enough that we can start hiring players into Riot. And that team works really closely to figure out what the right type of balance will be, both for like the full player community, but also more specifically for the sport. So it's definitely something we think about constantly. We need to do what's best for, you know, the majority of players that are playing, which means if something's broken, we want to fix it. If something's too strong, we want to nerf it, but we also have to be really cognizant of what that means to the sport. And then we definitely do have delays in between, like when things become available. And then we also have things like map bans. So I think we'll just constantly be evaluating those things to make sure we get the balance just right.
Thanks, Anna.
Thanks, Sean.
We now want to give an opportunity for the in-house media to ask any questions. If you would like to, just please stand up to the microphone and we will call on you.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Maria Eduarda. I'm from MGG. And my question is for all of you. I want to know, what do you feel like the São Paulo atmosphere can bring to the start of this new competitive season, and since the tournament is changing so much?
Look, I can start. I'm super biased. I think the Brazilian crowd is the best in the world, and I mean we cannot wait to see the energy and everyone coming in and showing their passion and yelling and chanting and, you know, singing along with the spectacle. I think it's going to be awesome. Players are really excited to be here. We're seeing everyone trying Brazilian food and exploring the city, and I think it's really a big celebration, and it feels that way. It feels like a big party. Everyone is coming together. Everyone is happy about the start. Everyone is like excited to see what's new. We're leaning on everything being new. So I think the Brazilian crowd and Brazilian fans will only make it better.
And I heard there's an actual big party about to happen pretty soon as well.
I heard that as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, Brazil esports is super popular here across all of our games. Fans are super passionate. I can't wait to see them during the live event tomorrow. But this market for Valorant specifically, it's a really important market to us for our players. We have a lot of players here. They love the game. We want to feed into that. So it's one of the perfect places to start.
Are there any more questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Valentina from Gazeta TV, and my question is for Ana. Ana, after these days in Brazil, do you think you have some new ideas to put into Valorant? Maybe a new weapon or character?
It's a very specific question. So, as a Raze main, I will say that I'm very, very love where Raze is from. And I think honestly, I don't know about Brazil, I don't want to speak specifically to Brazil because we are a very global game, but what I will say is that one of the things we love the most about what we're doing with Valorant right now is that we're celebrating players from all over the world. The fact that our game is set on Earth gives us a lot of opportunities to tell stories from around the world. We've seen our players fall in love with those stories. Our players don't only want to hear about themselves, they want to hear stories from other regions. They want to understand what players love in other countries. And so we're always drawing inspiration from the communities that we visit, and we're always drawing inspiration from the communities where our players exist. So we will continue to do it. It's one of my favorite things about the game, quite honestly, is that we get to represent all of you in the game itself. So we will definitely continue to do that. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't get to stay for Carnival, so there probably won't be a Carnival skin anytime soon, but we'll see what we can do.
Go ahead.
Hey, my name is Raquel from Valorant Zone. I want a question for Leo in Portuguese. It's
Sure.
okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Como foi a dinâmica de planejar campeonato internacional durante dos maiores eventos que tem no Brasil, que é o Carnaval?
That's a great question. Do you want to answer in Portuguese?
Go ahead in Portuguese.
Português? A gente, assim, quando a gente planejou o calendário da Season 2023, esse é um ano muito especial e muito único. A gente queria dar oportunidade e tempo para os times estabelecerem novos hubs. Então, vários times se mudaram para Los Angeles, para Berlim, para Seul. Então, a ideia de fazer o lock-in veio antes de escolher o local, e o momento tinha que ser esse. Acho que o fato de fazer durante o Carnaval trouxe alguns desafios logísticos, assim, os hotéis são cheios, os voos são mais caros, alguns países a gente demorou um pouco mais de tempo para conseguir vistos, mas no fim das contas, assim, deu tudo certo, tá dando tudo certo, a galera vai acabar curtindo o Carnaval, e a gente tá, enfim, super feliz. Vamos ver o show ao vivo amanhã, mas vai ser muito bacana.
Hi, my question goes, I'm Eduardo from Base Rush. My question goes to John.
You can take off your mask for a second.
With Leo already spoiling you, the fans tomorrow are going to be wild.
Yeah.
With the lock-in being a success, do you think that Sao Paulo or Brazil can receive like a League of Legends event, international events later?
Yeah, we were here. When were we here?
2017 from MSI?
2017. It's been a while. Yeah, I mean, I said this in an interview recently. CB LOL continues to increase fandom, become more popular. The viewership is great. So yeah, we will be back at some point with Lee. We have no announcements right now, but we will be back. This is a super important audience for us.
Any more questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi guys, my name is Ariela. Collaborations with artists and explain something. Can you give a little spoiler for us?
I can give no spoilers, but I can say yes, we are going to do more things. I think what we're seeing with this community and this community of players is that they really they really want to blend their interests quite a bit. It's not just gaming, you know, it's gaming and music, it's gaming and art, it's gaming and fashion, it's gaming and culture. And we're looking for every opportunity to combine those things. We think it's what players want. I think it's what makes our brand even cooler. I think those working with those people make us cooler than we are. So yeah, we will definitely do more collaborations. I'm so sorry. I wish I could spoil them, but there are people back home that will murder me. So, but more to come.
Thank you. And this will be the last question of the press conference.
Okay, Valentina from Gazeta TV, and my question now is for John. So Brazil has one of the biggest audience around the world when we're talking about electronic games and sports. Tell us about your expectations to see this crowd into this arena in the next few days.
Okay. Our objective is always to blow our fans' minds. We talk about it all the time. I want to feel the arena shaking tomorrow. I want to be shook out of my seat. And I know this audience will do that. So yeah, I mean, look, we've just recently gotten back to having live audiences. That energy we absolutely live for. This is not easy to do. This is what fuels us. So we'll blow your mind, blow ours too.
Let's go.
John, Waylon, Anna, thank you Leo, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. This will conclude the second press conference, and we'll be back with our players after this.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, folks. Thank you.